and Peter Schiff. He's president of Euro Pacific Capital. Gentlemen, thanks for being here. Peter, I want to start with you. Although there are more and more people saying that the U.S. economy will be in a recession next year, it is still a minority position. Why do you think that a recession is coming, and just how bad is it going to be?
I think it's going to be pretty bad, and whether it starts in 07 or 08, I think is immaterial, and I also think it's going to last not just for quarters, but for years. See, the basic problem with the U.S. economy is we have too much consumption and borrowing and not enough production and savings. And what's going to happen is the American consumer is basically going to stop consuming and start rebuilding his savings, especially when he sees his home equity evaporate. And when you have the economy 70% consumption, you can't address those imbalances without a recession.
Things fell apart really fast last week, and I would watch for next week things to continue to fall apart for banks and banking stocks. At some point, and it's not clear when, the government will feel enormous pressure to step in and do something to stabilize these banks, and it might be taking them over.
On Wall Street, it's an anger fueled by fear. If banks are nationalized, the government does not buy shareholders out. It simply takes over, and shareholders lose their investment.
But if banks don't nationalize, there's concern many will fail and drag the economy down even further. Next week, the government will begin a series of stress tests to determine which of the big banks need even more bailout money to get through a deeper recession. Of the 8,000 banks in America, 14 have been forced to close already this year, and the government is closely monitoring hundreds more.
We've conned ourselves into thinking that debt is not a problem. It's not. Your house, my house, not. Until you accumulate so much, there's no way you can pay it off. But we're somehow or another going to create a green economy that is going to pay this debt off. $12.9 trillion, America's debt right now, 107 in unfunded liabilities. Added up, $119.9 trillion. So how do we pay
Greece
this
is one
off?
of 16 countries on the euro. If it defaults on its debt, analysts say that could be a huge blow to the shared currency.
Es geht nicht mehr.
This is about nothing less than the future of Europe.
So Germany and other nations have agreed to give Greece a bailout. In return, they insist the country should take these drastic measures to shore up its balance sheets. But as tear gas and smoke drift across Athens, many Greeks say they're paying an unfair price.
This conference marks 180 years since the church was organized. How grateful we are for the prophet Joseph Smith, who sought for the truth, who found it, and who under the direction of the Lord restored the gospel and organized the church. The church has grown steadily since that day in 1830. It continues to change the lives of more and more people every year, and to spread across the earth as our missionary force seeks out those who are searching for the truth.